Hello everyone, Rurikhan here coming at you with another First Impressions video, and today I'm going to be taking a look at Path of Exile. Now, interestingly enough, this is a title to which I've had extremely early access. I believe I've mentioned this a couple of times when people have asked me why hadn't I played Path of Exile. I actually had played it, I just hadn't made any videos about it. I was in a couple of videos about it, but I wasn't the one performing the editing or anything like that. As a matter of fact, if you guys go on to YouTube right now and you Google, let's say, Rurikhan Crowmar Path of Exile, Crowmar with a C, most likely you will find a couple of videos where it's just me and Crowmar playing through Path of Exile. So Path of Exile has been released recently on Steam, and on top of all the requests that I've had from people on my channel, now I've had friends of mine as well asking me, man, how about Path of Exile? What do you think about it? And it always surprises me how when a game comes out on Steam, all of a sudden it's like a big deal. Like, I knew about Path of Exile long, and I do mean long before Steam. And I thought it was a decent game at the time. It's just, for whatever reason, I couldn't get into it. This time around, however, I've noticed that the game is actually a lot more complete than when I was playing it through betas and whatnot. Wow, I'm actually getting my ass kicked here. And I gotta be careful because I'm in the Nemesis League, which is kind of like a it's kind of like a hardcore league. It's not really hardcore because if you die, you don't lose your character, you just get sent back to Standard League. But Nemesis League has like a whole bunch of stuff, like harder monsters and whatnot. So I wanted to stay in the Nemesis League. It's just we found this rare monster here, which is being a pain in the ass. Wow. Okay, that's just a normal caster. Now, obviously, as you can see, I'm not the most experienced player in Path of Exile. As a matter of fact, I don't know quite a whole lot about the game. The reason I started in the Nemesis League is just, I was like, well, let's just see how hard it is and let's see how long it takes me to die. I'm playing a Marauder, in case you guys haven't noticed, for those of you who are wondering about the classes. There's a whole bunch of classes. Oh, wow. Look at all that loot. That fat loot. Ruby ring. Holy crap, so many blues.
I cannot carry this.
I can't even carry all of this stuff. Jesus Christ. Oh, look at that. 31 strength, guys. That's what I'm talking about right there. Going to be taking that belt. And I'm going to be taking all these blues back to sell. This is crap. Battered foil. Ruby ring. Also very curious about this. What you got here? Wow. A ton of stuff. Yeah, we will be taking that. Just because it has a ton of stats. We also got some dexterity, maximum life, 1 life regen. Let's take that. Should be fairly good. And we also have another unidentified ring, which we will replace. Wow, plus 8 all attributes. Man, we got a ton of good loot right from the get-go. So, as you guys can probably tell by now, this game is a lot like Diablo, let's put it like that. However, there is quite a bit of significant differences when it comes to, I mean, the basics of it plays just like any other hack and slash RPG. Wow, a couple of gems leveled up as well. Looks like the thing that I killed was pretty hardcore. It's kind of cool.
Welcome.
But there's a lot of mechanics that I want to talk with you guys about. I just want to make sure that I sell off all of these items before we get started. As you can see, you have selling mechanics. However, in this game, you actually do not sell stuff for gold. You sell stuff for miscellaneous items. As you can see here, I'm going to get a scroll fragment. This will eventually become a scroll of wisdom, which is what allows me to identify items. I'm selling these items unidentified because I honestly don't really care about any of these particular items. And identifying items, as far as I can tell, doesn't really add any value to them, so I just sell them as they are. Also going to sell this. There, and that is going to add a whole bunch more of these small items that you guys see here. Oh, you got another scroll. Thank you very much. And these small items, eventually, when they stack up to a certain number, they become scrolls or other types of things that you can actually use to do a variety of services on your items. So there is no, like, in-game economy, as far as I can tell. Once again, I'm just fairly early on into the game. There is no in-game economy of gold or anything like that, which is actually good, because it kind of, like, prevents stuff like gold farmers and whatnot. But once again, take all the stuff that I'm saying with a grain of salt, because my experience in Path of Exile is extremely limited. Either way, let's take this waypoint back to where we were. Pick up the rest of these blue items because why the hell not? There we go. Holy crap. Hey, we even got a medium healing flask, which is magical, so I'm most likely going to start using that. The spell's frozen and chilled. Oh, yes. I like that. I like that very much. Because there have been a couple of times where I almost died because of chilled. Getting chilled is like you get frozen from getting hit by cold spells. So let's try and let me try and get into the mechanics of the game here a little bit. As you can see, these are my potions. Now, potions in this game actually work in a way that I prefer a lot more than in other RPGs before it, which is in other RPGs before it, you just buy a whole bunch of potions and then you chug them down, and that's pretty much the extent of the mechanic. As you level up, you will buy better potions, and you will keep on buying those potions and using them as you go forward. And here, it's actually different. These potions refill over time, which is actually a lot better than just having you constantly going back to the city for the sake of potions. Now, you saw me go back to the city at the very start of this video simply because I'm still very early on in the game, so any possible, I was going to say money, but any possible pieces of items that I can get is going to be useful for me, so I'm trying to basically sell as many of the blues as I can. Ooh, mana low, might as well use a mana potion here. So that's the reason why I went back, but a seasoned Path of Exile player or someone who is further ahead in the game might not really have need for those items, in which case he doesn't even have to go to town. He just keeps on playing until whatever. You can just keep on going almost like non-stop as far as I can tell. The only reason you go to town is to hand in quests and whatnot. So you also get portal scrolls. Portal scrolls obviously teleport you back to town. Identify scrolls will identify items for you. So yeah, I do like this potion mechanic. As you can see, my potions are constantly regenerating. I prefer this a whole lot to having to constantly go back to town for supplies and stuff like that. It definitely helps you keep yourself more in the game and less going back to town and selling and doing whatnot. Just get rid of some of this stuff. I do not tend to keep white items on me unless I'm really desperate for loot. Oh, looks like we got another mini-boss there. Explode! I'm going to be telling you guys exactly why monsters are exploding when I smack them with my item there. Oops, there's something wrong here. This thing should actually have this skill there. Much better. Much better indeed. Oh, did that hurt? What the hell is that? Looks like he had some kind of special ability that I wasn't familiar with. Either way, running out of mana here, so I'm going to pop another mana potion. There, you guys done? You guys happy with that? Another scroll of wisdom for identification. Thank you very much. And another one of our gems leveled up. Okay, so now let's get into this whole gem mechanic that you guys are probably getting confused by, those of you who are not familiar with Path of Exile. So, in Path of Exile, you see all these skills here. You actually don't have like a skill tree for active skills. What happens is all of your gear will usually be socketed, and it will be socketed in 3 colors unless it has unless it's more advanced gear, at which point I can't explain you yet because I'm not there yet. But it will usually have sockets on it, and red sockets will usually be associated with skills that are more associated with strength. Strength in this game also gives you, I believe, hit points. I'm not 100% sure, but I think we can check that out real fast. Yes, 2 strength gives you 1 life. 5 strength gives you 1% melee physical damage. Then when you go to intelligence, 2 intelligence give you +1 mana. 5 intelligence gives you +1% energy shield. And when you get to dexterity, 1 dexterity gives you 2 accuracy. 5 dexterity gives you +1% evasion. So these are the 3 stats in the game. Obviously, strength, dexterity, and intelligence. Dexterity is more for characters that want to dual wield and do that kind of stuff. Strength is more for characters that want to be tanky and just be big hitters with big heavy weapons. And intelligence obviously goes for mages and spellcasters and summoners and whatnot. Now, like I said, each of these sockets is going to have a color, which means each of these colors will usually be a skill that is associated with the stat, either strength, dexterity, or intelligence. Intelligence blue, strength red, dexterity green. Now you're going to see me with a whole bunch of skills here that I'm not even using. Like, for instance, actually, this one is the one that I am using. But we have Cleave over here, which is from this red gem. And basically, Cleave is, as you can see, an AoE attack. I can actually use that, can't I? I think I can. No? And an arc towards the target. Only works with axes and swords. No, since I'm using a mace, I can't actually use that skill. But each of these gems over here is an active skill. Now, you have to actually socket those gems into your items in order to get those access to those skills. That is the way the active skills work in this game. And it's something that it's a little bit... It's actually quite different from most action RPGs that offer this kind of playstyle. However... you guys might be wondering, well, what if I put the skill in an item that I then stop caring about? Well, you can just remove it, and you can put it in another item. You can switch them around. It's really no problem. And these gems also level up. The more you use them, the more they level up. What the hell is wrong with these guys? Just stop coming at me. The more you use these gems, the more they are going to level up. But also they just level up for being equipped, which is the reason why I try to have as much stuff equipped as possible, despite the fact that I might not be using it. Who knows if eventually I won't make a character where I will want to use it, and at that point I will already have those particular gems leveled up. At least that's my thought process behind it right now. Who knows? I might be doing something wrong. So the one skill that I'm casting most of the time is Infernal Blow. And what that skill does is whenever I kill a monster, for starters, it adds fire damage to my attacks. And if I happen to kill a monster through that fire damage, he explodes, and it works almost like Corpse Explosion from Diablo 2, if you guys remember that, which gives out a percentage of the monster's health back to everyone that's around them, which is pretty cool because it gives you a nice little AoE attack that is also pretty beefy when it comes down to its single target damage. Wow, I'm actually really low on mana here. I might need to get some better mana flasks, or just more of them. Bong. I do like seeing them explode. It is extremely satisfying to just hear a monster go pop and just... I don't know, it's a lot of fun. So, how come I couldn't get into this game previously and now I can? Well, for starters, the game wasn't complete, so you didn't have all of the acts. I believe that they only released all of the acts at the official release of the game, although I'm not 100% sure if that is the case or not. But previously, you didn't have all the acts, and I didn't really like the animations. I don't know, there was something about the animations previously that I just... I don't know, I couldn't get into it. But ever since I started playing again today, I was actually finding it very satisfying, and I just basically kept on playing, and I haven't stopped since I started. Because as you guys know, I am kind of a fan of these types of games. As you guys probably saw me play Diablo, Torchlight 2, as well as a whole bunch of other games in this kind of style. And I just don't know how I could never get into Path of Exile. I was never able to really point my finger on it. I mean, I know that I had a little bit of issue with the animations, but I mean, I can't imagine that was the only thing. But either way, one of the things is I'm actually pleased with the fact that I didn't play it all that much, because what happens now is I get to experience the full game, and this is a free-to-play game, by the way. I get to experience the whole game in pretty much without having to wait for them to develop content, even though they're constantly adding content as far as I can tell. I've taken a quick glance at the store just to see if there was any stuff about that would be like pay to win or anything like that, and I couldn't really find anything in there that I would classify as pay to win. Then again, I only took a very quick glimpse at it. It seemed that most of the stuff was like about customization, like customization of skill animations, as well as having pets and stuff like that, like non-combat pets. So I was like, yeah, I could get behind that, as long as there's like no crazy boosts and skills and special things, and I don't know. I didn't have much issues with what I saw at the store. Is this guy resistant to fire? No. He is resistant to lightning. He's probably going to explode. He's going to make a ton of damage. Yep, just like I thought. Which is why I kind of moved.
Carry this.
Wow, I'm already full again. Small life flask, medium life flask. This is just a normal one. Do I really care about any of this stuff? Strapped leather. I don't want to have evasion. I don't care about evasion at all. A heavy belt with strength. Rawhide boots. These could go away. Orb of regret. And what do I have here? Stone axe. Yeah, and I probably want to go back now and sell all this stuff. That's fine. I'm just gonna go back, sell all this stuff. We have a ton of town portals anyway, so it's actually pretty straightforward to go back to town here. I might as well show you the mechanic of the town portal. There, you just open up the town portal, pretty much like you did back in the Diablo days, and works pretty much the same. So now let's go over here, sell all this stuff that we don't really care about. Now, if you're playing multiple characters, you might want to pay attention to the stuff you're selling. Since I'm not, I'm just playing my one character at the moment anyways. I'm not even paying that much attention to the stuff I'm selling. It's just like, just sell everything. As a matter of fact, why the hell do I even keep these flasks around here? Get rid of all this stuff. Something that you have to pay attention as well is that sometimes these items will not stack properly. I don't know exactly why. Even though this time they are, but it's just weird. Usually I don't have an extra item here. Either way, just sell all that stuff. We got another scroll fragment. And another scroll of wisdom there. And now let's go back. And this is multiplayer as well. I know that I haven't mentioned that, but it's obviously multiplayer. This is your passive skill tree. This is where this game like gets really, really overwhelming, especially to new players. I remember that one of the reasons as well was every time I looked at this tree, I'd be like, "What the fuck? These people have problems. Like, who the hell makes something like this? Like, what is even the logic behind all these things? I mean, look, I'm level 11. I was able to get all the way here and here, and that's it. And I mean, just look at the diversity of skills. As a matter of fact, the only thing that really matters for your class selection is the place at where you start. So my class starts here with access to a whole bunch of strength skills, as well as life boosting skills, life regen, all that kinds of stuff. But for instance, if you go to, I think this is the starting point probably to another class. Most likely I can see projectile damage. This is probably the ranger. No, it's got melee damage as well. It might be the duelist because it's got some strength and dexterity. Then you have this one, which is just dexterity. This is probably the ranger, which is another class that you can do. Then you go over here. You got dexterity and intelligence. I believe this is the new class, the shadow. Not 100% sure. Then you go over here. All you got is spell, so this is probably the witch. And then you go all the way over here, and you got intelligence and strength, and this is the Templar. So, and these are all the classes in the game. And it's just like, look at how much builds you can imagine out of this thing. It is ridiculous. And this is just passive skills. Like, there's no active skills in this particular tree. Active skills are always based around those gems that you guys have seen me use. And those gems actually get further, a lot more complex as you play more of the game. As far as I can tell anyways, through watching other people's videos and stuff. But not only are these are not just passives like, okay, plus 5% physical damage, plus 10% elemental damage, but there's more than that. Like, for instance, let me check this one out. Zealot's Oath. Life regeneration applies to energy shield instead of life. For instance, here's one. This will completely change a lot of things in your character because instead of you regenerating health, you're actually regenerating energy shield. Now, you guys might be wondering, what the hell is energy shield? Well, certain items give you an energy shield on top of whatever they happen to do. Like, what do I have that gives me an energy shield? I know that I have one item at least that gives me an energy shield. Which one is it? Here it is. This belt. As you can see there, plus 5 maximum energy shield. And that is the reason why I have plus 5 shield there. So basically, this is a shield that's on top of your health. And a lot of items actually give you shield. So if you want to, instead of having armor, just having additional shield, which gives you effectively extra health, you can do that. It is a different playstyle. You also have 2 sets of weapons that you can equip, which can be swapped in the middle of the fight. Currently on my secondary set, I have this big-ass maul, but it's whatever. I just usually like using the one-hander and shield because I'm playing in a more tanky style. As you guys know, that is kind of my thing. And this pretty much sums up what Path of Exile is. Now, in terms of story, I'll be completely honest, I haven't paid that much attention to the story. I know that your character is just an exile who gets sent to this place, and basically you're killing monsters. That's pretty much the extent of what I know of the story. I haven't paid that much attention to it because I've just been focusing more on the gameplay because I've been having a ton of fun. Particularly after I got this goddamn skill infernal blow, it's just been downhill from there. That's all I've been doing. Just go up to monsters, wail on them until they pop, and once they pop, just laugh in their face. And it's just like, again, explosions with these shields that I have. It's just a lot of crazy stuff. I like it. And I've been having a ton of fun today with it. So I recommend it. It is now available on Steam, and it's free. So you got absolutely nothing to lose for checking it out. So I would advise you, if you are interested, go ahead, check it out. As far as I know, this isn't scheduled to be launched on any consoles as of today. And I really know the PC elitist crowd is like, oh, friggin' console peasants don't deserve games and blah, 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 and whatever. You guys know that I am very neutral when it comes to that. I actually preferred everybody to have access to every single game in the world. Unfortunately, that is not possible. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I've already killed one of the bosses in this act, which was like a warden or whatever. He was pretty tough. Took a little bit of smacking him in the face. But still, just been playing some Path of Exile. And I'm wondering, do you guys want to see more Path of Exile? Like, would you like to see me actually dedicate some more time into Path of Exile and make some more videos of it? Because it's definitely a possibility. It is a lot of fun, and I am very curious to actually go into the higher difficulties. Yes, you do have multiple difficulties as well. I'm not sure if it actually shows here. Let me see if I go here. Yeah, right now I'm only in normal, but I think if you go to a waypoint or something, it actually shows you the multiple difficulties that are available. Let me just see if I can find a portal here. It was cool because actually I started recording the video at the best time possible because pretty much after that kind of like boss guy, all I've had was just minions all over the place. And you've noticed there I've been leveling up my gems. Pretty much every time that a gem pops up, I level it up. That's why I'm going to be playing this character. I just hope I don't die, because if you die, basically I'm going to get sent back to the standard league, and that is going to make me regret having made my character on the Nemesis league, because you can only die once. And I believe that this is also like a ladder type deal, so people are going to be competing for the top spots in the ladder. As a matter of fact, for a PvE game, there is a lot of competitive element in terms of ladders. I've been following Kripparrian. I mean, you guys probably, if you know me, chances are you know Kripparrian because he's like 100 times bigger than you or whatever. The thing is, I've been following Kripparrian pretty much since the days that he started playing Diablo 3, because he had access to the beta before me, and I was watching his videos, and I ended up following. Ended up following him because I like a lot of the points that he makes about several video games. So I ended up following Kripparrian, and he is pretty much a hardcore Path of Exile player, and I've been watching his progress through the game. He's been playing pretty much since it went into open beta, I want to say. Like, I had access long before him, but I never bothered to play Path of Exile that much. But I've been following him, and I've been always impressed with how competitive he gets when it comes down to Path of Exile. Like, he's talking about these events that they make that are like leveling races and stuff, and I'm like, wow, like, that's interesting that people actually take this so seriously. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a hack and slash RPG, but they are doing a lot of things, apparently, to keep it very, very competitive. I don't even think that there's like a PvP mode or anything, at least not that I've been able to find. But it is competitive from a PvE aspect, from people figuring out the best ways to level up, the fastest ways to level up, and just racing each other to max level and stuff like that. And I found that really interesting. And I've been having a blast with it so far. The current build that I am doing, for those of you who are more experienced in Path of Exile and are curious as to what my plan is, right now my current build revolves around just getting as much things as I can that will synergize with Infernal Blow. I did this one thing, which is Resolute Technique, so that my hits can't be evaded, because it seems like most melee and Marauder builds kind of all have this skill. So I pretty much went all the way over to Resolute Technique, and then I went back and I picked up Heart of the Gladiator. Right now I'm actually not sure what I want to do. I might get these critical strike multiplier reductions, but I'm not sure if that is what I want to do, because I haven't really planned out what my next step in this build is going to be. So I'm not actually going to put any points just yet. I still have to think about it after this video, think about where I'm going to be putting my next set of points. And let's head into this cave and see what else we can do. The ship graveyard. I don't think I've ever been here. No, I have been here
Ghosts
like a
may
long
not be,
time ago.
But where there's life, there can be death.
Where there's life, there can be death. That's fine. We'll just blow up the life, blow up the death, blow up everything and everyone. I don't even know what this curse is doing to me, but I'm obviously cursed. There's also curses in the game. There's also auras.
My mana is gone.
No, the mana can't be gone. We need the mana to blow up things. I really need to get the shield going as well. I love hearing that shield pop. It is awesome. You just get up to a monster and it's like, pop! Boom. I like it. What can I say? I like making things explode. There was actually a build that I saw. I've been looking up builds because obviously, like I said, that thing is pretty overwhelming. The passive skill tree, that is. So I've been looking up builds and stuff, and one of the builds was actually called like the melee exploder build, and I was like, that sounds interesting. Despite the fact that I'm not really following that build per se. Once again, as you can see, I usually just skip through everything, even though the voice acting is pretty good. But I tend to just skip through everything regardless. So how do I do this?
I hunted the vagary.
Yes, Merveil.
My loveliest neighbor in this most...
Oh, I guess I have to do something else. Like I said, I haven't been reading the quests or anything. I just go around and kill stuff. Because there's also something cool about this game, which is the fact that if you happen to complete a quest and you haven't picked up that particular quest, doesn't matter. You can just go up to the NPC that was supposed to give you the quest and hand it in regardless, which is something that I can really appreciate, because it allows me to just run through the game without having to be concerned with the fact, oh, I need to go over here to pick up the quest from this person, and then I need to go do the quest, and then I need to go and hand it back in. You know, that mechanic is just so old that it just like smells at this point. Wow, so many mobs. Let's get our shield going. Come on, boys, pop that shield. Pop that shield. Oh, guess not. Well, the shield's gonna explode anyways. Yep. Shield up. Keep the mana flowing. Keep the heals going as well. Here comes the shield pop right now. Nope. They're not doing enough damage to pop my shield. Aw. Makes me sad. But the good thing is that the shield also gives me additional defenses, which kind of support the tanky playstyle that I'm trying to follow. And just the exploding. I think this skill almost made the game for me. Just bashing people until they explode. If only I could do that in real life. Bash someone's skull in until they exploded. It would be perfect. I'd be the happiest person in the world. Okay, I'm just getting a little bit too sadistic right now, but the fact of the matter is I have barely slept today. So I guess that I am entitled to a little bit of leeway. Now, something else that I haven't mentioned is the fact that these maps that I'm playing through, all of these maps are random. random. So you are never going to play through the same map twice. It might have a couple of features that you will recognize or something like that, but you will never play through the same map twice, which I think is really cool as well. You guys know that I like procedural level generation and all that stuff. So it's nice that this game also implements that, because I know that a lot of people are going to want to be obsessed with the builds that they're making and whatnot, and going through the same damn maps all the time would just get really old. So it's actually good that they have that feature in there, even though it is kind of a common feature for games of this nature these days anyways. Wow, they popped that shield real fast. That's what I'm talking about right there. Glass shank. I don't want no shank. What else we got here? Get rid of the skinning knife. There are also some gems which you will find later on in the game. I don't think I'm even close to finding those gems, which are support gems. And what it does is certain items actually come with linked sockets. So like you can have your skill in one of those sockets, and then you can put a whole bunch of support gems in there, which will improve your skill. Like, let's say, gems that will increase the damage of your skill by X%, or gems that will reduce the casting time of your skill, gems that will cause your skill to automatically cast upon you killing a monster, that kind of thing. So there's so much variety when it comes to making builds for this game. I mean, just think about it. You have that huge ass passive tree, and then you have all of those skills that are the socket skills. Those are actually not that many, but then you get to combine those with a whole bunch of support skills, which will improve the way that those socket skills perform. So it's like ridiculous amounts of variety. Even though, obviously, as you play the game, most people are going to go straight for metagaming. At the time of launch, it seems that one of the most powerful builds in the game is the Spectral Throw build. I don't even know what that entails. I just heard Kriparian talking about it, and I went to that website that I told you guys about that had a whole bunch of Path of Exile builds. And in that website, like the top 3 builds, which were like, I'm not sure if it were the more recent or the top voted, like top 3 builds were Spectral Throw builds. So more likely than not, they're going to have to look into nerfing that particular skill. But still, I mean, I would advise people not to focus too much on the metagame unless you're like this competitive professional gamer and you just need to be the best of the best of the best. I would advise people just like, look, have fun with it. Make your own damn builds like what I'm doing. I just started using this skill, Infernal Blow, and I'm like, wow, I really dig this skill, so I'm going to try and make a build around it. I also like this shield skill that I got here, so I'm going to try and work that into the build as well. And the game seems to support a variety of different builds. Like, there's passive skills that improve your summons because there are skills that allow you to summon pets as well. And you can do any of those skills with any of the classes, provided that you have the necessary stats. Like, for instance, I'm playing a Marauder, right? Suppose that, for God knows whatever reason, I want to make a Marauder that has minions. You can actually do that if you have enough intelligence to use the skill of the minions. And also bear in mind that these skills, as you level them up, you guys have been seeing me level up a whole bunch of gems. As you level those gems up, they will require more of their base stats. So if you're using, say, an intelligence gem, you will eventually be required to have more intelligence than what you have, particularly if you're doing a Marauder, which obviously is not going to have a ton of intelligence. Unless you plan your character to do so, because you can go through the tree and get to a place where you can get intelligence. Let me just show you real fast. Like, for instance, I'm here right now, and in order to go any place in the tree, you're required to have the skill before it. But I could go right here, and there's intelligence, because I have this node, and I can go here, and there's intelligence here. And from here, I can go to this node, and I can go to this node of strength, and then I can go to this node of dexterity, and voila, there's intelligence spread out all over the damn tree. So, I mean, it's one of those things. You just got to think about the build that you want to make and try to plan ahead. which is why I'm not putting points right now because I need to plan ahead. I probably want to look up these particular skills over here, these big round ones, because they're usually the ones that are going to make or break your character. So I want to make my decision based on that, and I will take whatever path I feel like taking throughout the passive skill tree that is going to lead me to the next big skill. That is the way that I'm planning on playing my character. It does not mean that it is the best way to do it. And most likely this character is going to either end up dead or with a useless build regardless. That's just the way of things when you start these types of games and there's no respec mechanics. Even though they do have somewhat of a respec mechanic that I've noticed, because I did a quest and I got this this thing that allowed, which was a book, and it allowed me to respec two of my skills. Like if you go over here, you see that I have two refund points left, so I can actually go and refund 2 of these passives and put them somewhere else. There might be something like that in the store as well, which I'm actually okay with that, because this game, you're going to be going through characters so fast if you're really into this game. I feel that usually when you respec, it's not going to be because of 1 or 2 points. You're just going to go and respec the whole damn thing. That is my prediction anyways, but I could be wrong. But either way, that is going to be it for this particular video. As per usual, leave me your comments, feedback, all that kinds of good stuff. Probably most importantly, something I'd like to know is, do you want to see more Path of Exile? Leave me that in the comments as well. And make sure to like the video if you want to see more, and dislike if you don't want to see it. Like I've said on multiple occasions, I don't care about my like to dislike ratio that much. It is more a feedback tool, which is why I never really ask people to like videos unless I need their opinion or something like that, because usually I'm aware of the type of stuff that you guys enjoy or don't enjoy, usually, which is why I'm saying right now, just press like if you want to see more of this, press dislike if you don't want to see more of this. You don't have to get like a guilty conscience like, oh no, I'm disliking a Rurikhan video, I'm such a terrible person. No, it's cool, man, it's cool, it's fine. Either way, like I said, that is going to be it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next